I'm nervous. Dang it! Oh, it's too much. What do I do? It was too much. Is this gonna fail? Oh, this makes me nervous. Oh no, you guys. I don't know what's going on. This is very peculiar. I think something is terribly wrong. Hello friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole, if we've never met. If you didn't know, I am very pregnant. I am 37 weeks, which is absolutely wild. And to be honest, the last couple weeks I've been pretty bored. I don't know if it's the anticipation of being so close to meeting our daughter, or the fact that this has probably been the longest amount of time that I have been home without traveling or really having anything going on. But I've been a little stir crazy. And so I've been trying to find new hobbies and random things to fill my time, which is what brings me to why we are here today. We're gonna learn how to make sourdough. I feel like sourdough is such a big trend right now. I see it all over social media. Everybody's making it. I don't know what everyone's obsession is with making sourdough, but today we're gonna find out. I'm very excited because I love learning new things and I know absolutely nothing about making sourdough. So we are going to learn together. I know that it's a bit of a process. Like, I don't think we're actually going to be able to finish today. I think this is gonna be like a 2-day thing. And you can't make sourdough without a sourdough starter. My precious, generous, loving neighbor actually gifted me my very first sourdough starter. Look how cute. And I don't really know what this means. I just know that you need this to start sourdough. From what I've heard people say, you have to like tend to this like a plant or a pet and you have to feed it, which actually kind of scares me considering I'm not the best with plants. Remember a couple weeks ago when I showed you my pothos? So I feel like I'm not even making bread. I'm like signing myself up for additional responsibility in my life to keep this thing alive, but I am determined to make this work. So apparently this is all you need to get started. The first thing we have to do is feed it. She did tell me I'm gonna need a larger jar for this. And we're just gonna put equal parts starter, flour, and water into this jar. And then we need to let it double in size, which I think takes like 2 to 4 hours. Another thing supposedly you must have for this process is a food scale. This is gonna be a much more accurate way of measuring things versus just using the measuring cups. And I guess it really does make or break whether or not you get a good sourdough loaf. So we're using a little weight scale. I'll link one down in the description box below if you want to try this at home. I feel like I should do ounces. Yeah, let's do ounces. They didn't specify. They just said equal parts. I think as long as it's equal, we should be good. Okay, I zeroed it out. Eek! I'm nervous. Oh my gosh. How did that just happen? I lifted, y'all saw that, right? I lifted this clip and the lid just flew off. Oh my, this is my neighbor's. I was gonna return this jar and now I can't because I broke it. Oh no, we are not off to a good start. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. This is gonna be great. I think I'm just gonna dump my whole starter in here because I don't think I need it in this jar anymore. I'm gonna keep it all in this one from now on. Oh my gosh. Y'all, look at that. That's kind of wild. Okay, we're gonna pour it, or put it, I guess. I'm gonna put it in the jar. Okay, 2.99 ounces, almost 3. And that would be so satisfying if it was exactly 3, but it is not. 2.96, 2.99, woo, right on the dot. Y'all, check it out. Oh, okay, well, it just changed. It literally said 2.99, and for some reason, whenever I touched it, it changed. And now we need 2.99 in water. 2.96. Dang it! Oh, it's too much. What do I do? It was too much. I'm at 3.13. Is this gonna fail? I feel like I'm gonna mess it up if I try to take any water out. This is hard! And I think you gotta mix this up. Okay, that worked pretty well. I'm gonna put the lid on this. And then we're supposed to mark it so we can tell when it's doubled in size. So I'm just gonna use like a little dry erase marker. And I'm gonna make a line right there. 11 a.m. Okay. Now we're just gonna let this sit and double in size.
2 hours later.
Okay, we are back. Our starter has doubled in size. Look at it. She's growing beautifully. This is so weird. And it is 1:30, so that took about an hour and a half. Wait, no, that took 2.5 hours. We are ready to make our dough, so I'm just gonna grab all my things. Now this next step, we're gonna need the starter, all-purpose flour, bread flour, and room temperature water. I'm using King Arthur bread flour, and then just, I think this is Pillsbury, maybe gold medal. I don't really remember. We're supposed to be able to tell if our starter is ready by doing a float test. So I'm gonna put my bowl on my scale here. And we need 425 grams of room temperature water. I'm at 427, but I want this to be exact. 425, okay, perfect. That was about 2 cups, but again, like, you wanna weigh it because we had this much-ish left over. We have to be exact. Now, we got our starter. Oh, it smells good. And we need 200 grams of this. So I'm just gonna do a little blob and see if it floats. She's floating. Yay! Oh, I'm so proud of you! Oh, this is fun. Okay, now we're just gonna add little by little until we hit 200 grams. Just might use all of my starter. Guys, I hope I have enough. Okay, 107. Everybody pray. We're gonna be like right 147. Oh, this makes me nervous. 176. I might not have any left though. This might use up my whole thing. What am I gonna do if it uses all of it? Then I can't make any more. I'm just gonna do a little bit because I don't wanna go over. 200! Okay, we got 200. Y'all, we barely have any left. I wonder if that's enough to feed. And we're gonna stir this up until there's no more chunks. There should be no chunks. Okay, perfect. All of our chunks are gone. Now we need to add our flour. So I'm gonna get this back on my scale. We need 650 grams total of flour. And so since I'm splitting it between all-purpose flour and bread flour, I'm gonna do 325 of each. Starting with all-purpose, 324. Come on, 325, perfect. Okay, now for our bread flour. Okay, 324. 325. Amazing. Now I'm just going to start mixing this together with a fork. And I've heard that once it starts to kind of come together, it's better to use your hands. I can't imagine making this every single day. There are some people who make this every single day. And can you imagine bakeries? Like, bakeries do multiple loaves of these every single day. That's wild. Just gonna kind of bring it together. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'll let you know after my loaf comes out if I recommend this method. Also, it's crazy to me that this is literally just flour and water, essentially. Okay, this looks good. Now we have to let this sit uncovered for 30 minutes.
Later.
Okay, 30 minutes is up. It's actually a little past 30 minutes. I did 45. Hopefully that's okay. Now we need to add 15 grams of salt. All right, we're gonna weigh out 15 grams of salt. 12. This is a lot of salt. And then we're just going to knead this in until we don't feel any little salt granules anymore. And we're gonna let this rest again for 30 minutes. I think this part is the most labor intensive part because every 30 minutes you have to knead the dough. But once we get through that, we should be smooth sailing.
Later.
All right, I think we may have a problem. The first 30 minutes is up. But I just went back and watched this girl's highlight reel on Instagram where she explains her sourdough process, and I forgot to cover my bowl. It's been sitting like this for 30 minutes uncovered, and I don't know if that makes a difference. Part of me is like, how much of a difference can that make covering it versus not covering it? And I feel like with as detailed as this process has been so far, it's absolutely gonna make a difference. And so I'm really bummed. If I just ruined this whole loaf because I did not cover it, I'm gonna be really sad, but we're gonna keep on going. So the next part is the stretch and fold. We have to do this every 30 minutes. And so I am going to get my hands wet and, according to the video I saw, going to stretch without letting it break. Oops. And fold. I already feel like I'm not doing this right. And then we're gonna rotate the bowl, go to the next corner, stretch, and fold. I feel like mine's not stretching as much as hers was. Or maybe I'm pulling it too high. I'm really, really not sure. I'm doing my best. That feels good. Now we're gonna cover it this time and let it sit for another 30 minutes.
A few inches later.
We are back. Here she is. I covered her this time. She looks the exact same, but we're committed to the process. Wet hands, stretch, and fold. Guys, I just wish there was somebody to tell me if I'm doing this right because I genuinely don't know. And there's part of me that thinks I'm not doing it right. I'm gonna be so sad if this doesn't work. After all the time and effort we've put into this. Comment down below if you've made sourdough before or if you're a sourdough professional, and let me know if I'm doing this right. This can't be right. And we're gonna cover her up, let her sit again for 30 minutes. I think we have to do this one more time.
One eternity later.
Okay, we're back. This is actually the fourth and last stretch and fold. I skipped the last one. I mean, I did the last one. I just didn't film it because it's like the same thing you've already seen and I didn't want to bore you. So we just have one more of these to do. And honestly, y'all, oh, my bowl's hot. Why is my bowl hot? My bowl's like really hot. Is that something that happens with sourdough? I don't think that's right. Oh no, you guys. Well, it's stretching better. I don't know what's going on. This is very peculiar, but it is stretching better. So I'm just gonna go with it. We are learning. Y'all, if this loaf does not turn out, it's gonna be okay. We're just gonna chalk it up as a learning experience, you and me. And to be honest, here we go again. I also don't know that my starter is gonna make it. I think I killed it. I think I literally killed it. First time around, and I'm gonna have to get a new starter because that's the only one I had and I don't have enough to make another. I don't really know how that works, but it's been in its jar for over 2 hours and it has done absolutely nothing. Whereas before, it doubled in size, so I don't really know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Somebody please help. And I don't feel like this should be this sticky. I think something is terribly wrong. Okay, I'm just gonna do this a couple more times and we're gonna call it a day because I think I'm just messing this up and making it worse. All right, the last step that we have to do before this is going to proof overnight is shape it, and then we'll put it in our little bowl. And you guys, by the looks of this dough, I just don't know if this is gonna go super well. It feels too sticky. Okay, supposedly you're supposed to pull it gently into a rectangle, and then we're going to fold one side in, fold the other side in. We're gonna do side. Okay, this is actually going a little bit better than I thought. I just feel like my dough ball is too lumpy. Like there's lumps in it, and I don't think there's supposed to be lumps. Sorry, I'm concentrating so hard. Apparently now we're just supposed to rotate this and keep the seam down until it's super smooth. I'm gonna add some flour. I'll be right back. I already feel like we've kind of messed this up, so we're just gonna sprinkle it with a little flour and see if we can save it because I don't know what else to do. That actually might be okay, y'all. Okay, I take it back. This might actually work out. We do have a nice little ball of dough, so I think I'm just gonna not mess with it anymore. We're gonna let this puppy rise. It's our first one. It doesn't have to be perfect. Place our little dough ball right inside, and we're gonna let this proof in the fridge overnight. Okay, sleep tight, little dough ball. We'll see you tomorrow.
The next day.
Good morning. It's the next day. I woke up and came downstairs and I took out our little dough so it could proof at room temperature for about 1 to 2 hours. It's actually looking pretty good. I am excited. I haven't really touched it, but it has been resting on the counter for just about 2 hours. And so I think we're ready to go. About an hour ago, I put my Dutch oven in the oven to preheat at 500 degrees. That has to be super, super hot. And so that is just about done. And so we are ready for the next step. I need to get one of those fancy little sourdough scorer blades. Oh, actually, we forgot to do the poke test. So you can do the poke test before you take it out of your bowl to see if it's proofed properly. And you're supposed to poke it, and your poke is supposed to rise back slowly. You don't want it to spring back up, and you don't want it to like stay indented in your dough forever. So that's pretty good. I feel like it's rising. I still feel like after that third stretch and fold where the bowl was really warm, I think it over fermented, not over fermented, but fermented too quickly. And I'm starting to wonder if that's gonna create problems with the baking. Like if anything, with this first one, my guess is that the loaf is gonna end up being flat. So we'll see. We're just gonna go for it because there's no turning back now. Oh gosh. That actually looks amazing. And it held its shape pretty well. Oh, I'm proud of you. Good job. Good job, little dough ball. I don't really have a method here. I'm just gonna kind of go for it. Yeah, this knife is definitely not sharp enough. Okay, not bad. Dutch oven is so hot right now. Okay, in she goes. Trim this down a little bit. There she is. I'm putting the lid back on. She's going in the oven for 30 minutes. Another trick I learned from a friend is to put a baking sheet down and then put your Dutch oven on top of that. Apparently that helps the bottom of your loaf not get so brown.
Later.
All right, our 30-minute timer went off. I'm gonna pull this out, and then we gotta take the lid off and let it go for another 15 minutes. Here we go. I'm nervous. Wait, it actually looks good. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting that to look that good. Okay, I'm putting it back in for 15 minutes. I'm so excited.
20 minutes later.
15 minutes is up. Oh, and she looks so beautiful. Look at that, you guys. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Are you kidding me? She's beautiful. Like, it's perfect. Wow. I want to cut this open right now and have a slice, but the directions I'm following say to let it cool for 1 to 3 hours, and so I must be patient. But I'm so happy that it actually rose and it's not flat. Major success. I'm very excited. We'll see you back once this loaf cools off.
2 hours later.
All right, she's officially cooled down. It's time to slice. Guys, I seriously cannot believe that this rose the way it did. I was so certain it was gonna be flat. Can you guys see good? I wanna make sure this is perfect for you. Our first sourdough loaf. Okay, here we go. The crust feels amazing. Stop it right now. Stop it right now! Look at that! It's a legit loaf of bread! Okay, but I don't want to eat the butt though. I don't want the butt to be my first bite. I want like an actual slice. Okay, here we go. Here she is. I don't know anything about these holes and what they're supposed to mean, but to me it looks pretty good. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Y'all, this is so good. Oh, wow. Genuinely did not expect my first loaf to turn out like this. And I know by no means is it perfect. Y'all saw the process. I messed up so many times. But if this is what we got on our first try, it can only go up from here. That was so fun. Also so hard. But I think I just found myself a new little hobby to keep me busy until the baby gets here. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, I will keep you updated on my progress because I know there's so many things you can make with sourdough, like rolls, cinnamon rolls, pizza dough, all kinds of stuff. And now I'm hooked. I'm so pumped about this. Thank you so much for joining me and coming along this journey of my first time making sourdough. I hope you learned something. I hope it made you smile. If it did, please give this video a big thumbs up. And please, please, please hit that subscribe button because it means so much that you're here and I don't want you to miss any of my videos. Okay, we'll see you next week. Bye.